They were supposed to be shipped, and I was told that they were shipped Monday. Yesterday, I was told they'd be in. Yesterday afternoon, I made him put a tracer on them. Today, about 3:30, Dave called me and said, Paul, the guy hadn't got his welding rods in yet to weld the anchors. They'll be in Friday. So everything that they're telling Dave has been a lie.
Yeah.
I know there ain't nothing he can do about it. Brian's planning on starting Monday, and to me, it looks like I'll just have to wait.
Did they get his coated rebar in?
I got my rebar.
Okay.
I got all the things bent up. Me and Ray Jean tied all the piers up yesterday. I got my batter boards built. I'm anxious. I tell you what, Mike, it's frustrating. The last 2 weeks I haven't been busy at all, and we've been pretty good for 4 years now. But right now I got a room addition out in Aurora that the lady don't want me to start till the 21st. I got a house over there that's sold, and I thought I was within 2 weeks of closing, and then the government shuts down. I've got the Spalding girl that wants a house, and now I don't know if, because the government shut down, if I'll get my okay to start or not, or to sign deal. So that's all got to take place for me to get my line of credit activated. This anchor thing, I know what's going to happen. Everything's going to happen all at once.
Then they're gonna be calling busy. And
Just get the driving nuts. Yeah. But it's fine. It'll be a good winter, I think. And my timing on that over there, he's hanging drywall and finishing, so there's really nothing for me to do over there for the next week and a half or so. If that timing would have been a little different, I could have been working over there.
Did Terry Sloan get a hold of you again?
I seen Terry at the lumberyard today.
Did you?
Yeah.
Because he called me earlier wanting to know. Yeah, I said, well, I said, I know my call went over with you, what had to be filled.
Yeah.
So you see about how much, so I said, you know, if there's any extra, I'm sure that's the easiest and cheapest way to let him haul it off for you.
Terry's always treated me good. I got no problem dealing with somebody like that. So we'll just, I seen him at the lumberyard today.
Hello,
So,
Pat.
How you doing?
how you doing, Pat?
I'm good. Hi.
He, I don't know how much dirt we'll have, but you know, when we get these, I was shooting grades today, Mike. And when we get these slabs in, you don't want any drop off. So we got.
And Terry, looked like there was gonna be so much.
I don't think there's gonna be a whole lot. That's what I told
I
him.
don't either.
He said, Paul, there's a lot on that one driveway. I said, well, that's the most part of it, but there's not a whole lot. Right about now is when I wish I'd have had a big old pile sitting over there on Euphemia. I might have made a deal with him, traded him some gravel or something.
There you go.
But we're raring to go, so as soon as them get in, I'll get on it.
I was just wondering how your stuff, I knew you were waiting first on the rebar, then on those brackets.
Yeah, rebar came in, I think it was last Friday. But we got it all now. If we get them brackets, well, if we get the brackets, that's fine, because we gotta wait the 7 days anyhow, or so, just to put the building up. That's the next thing I gotta do, is to say, all right, now that these here messed you around like that, what's the building gonna be like? You getting on them now?
I tell you what, I'd feel a whole lot better if I knew it was sitting down there in their way
Well, and I've been,
Let them fuss to you about getting it out of their way, then,
well, and I can tell you something, Dave has a problem with calling people up and saying, hey, we need it. He waits on them to call him, and I said, well, Dave, can you call him? Yeah, I'll call him. Call him right now while I'm here watching you. You know, because I don't think he's hard enough on him.
well, and I've seen this time and time again. You'll tell him that, yep, I'll get on it right away. You turn around, 3 more people come in, bombard him, and he's done forgotten.
He forgets.
Yeah.
Satch, what was the address of the property that you guys were concerned about on Charlotte Street? The work being done?
I don't know the address, but I can ride my bike by there.
Well, I've looked.
Wasn't it someone that came in, got a permit?
Yeah, but I don't know if they got a
Should be.
permit. Did they get the permit to make those changes? Or just the permit to
There was a,
paint the siding?
they talked about, there was 2 doors. And what they asked about made sense. Why do we need 2 doors? They really did.
Yeah.
And I think that they could do away with the door, but then what they did was they went around the back, and then they had that roof work.
But
It was a little weird looking.
did they get any approval for the roof?
I believe that roof work was done.
I think they came in, they already had that stuff done.
Because I looked through case law, and essentially what it says that any clear and conspicuous change to the building is under the purview of the Historic Preservation Board. So that means that you guys get some kind of say onto what's done, the quality of the job, you know, and I think, you know, you'd have to work with them, you know, you couldn't say, well, you need a gold toilet, but it's gotta be something that fits within, I guess, what you guys view to be quality craftsmanship. And that would require them to have that read, you know, their approval, but if they already received that,
Seeing we haven't issued anything to the Charlotte Street address. I think what it was, they came in and talked that one night, because they got the letter and got concerned because they had already done.
That's right.
And so they didn't come in, they said all they had to do was finish what they'd already started, so we didn't issue them.
Yeah, that was that couple of ones, move the door to one side, didn't need to be there.
would you, I guess, want me to draft a letter to them stating that any significant change to the property should come up in front of the board?
We'll let the board decide that.
Pretty much everybody in town already got that letter, didn't they?
Yeah.
I mean, and I
I'm
think
just
that's-
concerned they're doing things.
they haven't really done anything since.
Okay.
They just been painting, but they haven't even done that door yet. But I know that roof
That was done, yeah.
was done quite a while before that. Dick coming tonight?
Trying to talk to him, said he was gonna be here.
Gonna get it moved in this weekend?
Couch is, I'm not moving in until I get the couch in. Couch is coming in on the 10th.
I was just trying to keep you from
Along with some
there.
other stuff. So I think I'll probably
Hit that.
start
Yeah.
moving.
It's recording as we speak.
Should be, they got the elevator finally, the cabin, everything installed today. MedMart was down there today. And then,
Did you get hold of Jay?
he was finishing up the downstairs bathroom today as well, and the downstairs kitchen. So the only big
Dick gets
project we have left, which should only take a couple of days, is
If he's got.
re-bricking the fireplace, putting fireplace bricks in.
You know, I'm
We're
glad
just gonna
that.
take it slowly.
Are you gonna use your fireplace?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, I hear.
One's called.
There.
We're gonna do
Well, I
like
knew
a
one was
ventless
Paul's, I know the
gas
Paul's, but I
log.
thought maybe the
How
other
we doing,
one was
Dick?
It won't be,
Dick's, yeah.
regular.
I saw, oh, two lights.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Well, Paul
Got a
doesn't have that
packet
part
in
there.
front
It's pretty
Oh,
affordable.
yeah,
It's on the other side there.
yeah, he rides. He
Yeah,
can
it's not
ride.
insane if you just get the like the little log and the whole shebang.
We put one in, them in an addition, hell, that runs into that addition.
Yeah.
That's Booney's boy, right.
Where's he live?
Water Street.
Okay. I swear I see Booney driving that truck. Every time I turn around, he's driving down some street going about 5 miles an hour.
Making sure everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing.
I met Brenda's husband today.
Johnny?
Boone, yeah, Boone was, parked at the house talking to me, and he pulled in front of him there at the alley. And Boone actually got out of the truck and walked to his door. And Boone says, "You know who this is?" I said, "No, but he must be important for you to get out of your truck." And I said, "I don't never see you out of your truck." He started,
That's the old flies, come in eagles.
yeah,
Sign.
Eagles and illusion, that's what he does.
Yeah.
Okay, Paul, it is time.
All right. Call the meeting to order October 2nd, Historic Preservation Commission. Can I have a roll call, please?
Paul Seymour,
Here.
Dick Martin,
Here.
Mario Todd.
Here.
Joe Johns,
Present.
and myself.
And I know everybody just got the minutes passed in front of them. Does anybody have any questions? Can I get a motion on them?
I'd so move.
Second.
Okay. Mike, do we have a staff report tonight?
Nothing in addition to what's in the packet that you'll see when you get a chance to read it. It does appear that we will more than likely definitely be here next month also. We've got some interest in some projects, so we'll probably meet next month. And we may even meet prior to then if timing becomes too big of an issue.
Well, got some new business in front of us. Billy Curlin. If you can step up to the podium and let us know what it is you're wanting to do.
Over on 207 Center Street, all I'm wanting to do right now is tear out the existing door, casing and all, and just replace it to make it more energy sufficient.
And that's just with that door you have clouded out in our handout there.
Right.
Billy called me up, guys, and asked me, and I went over and looked at it. It's got a typical old door that's letting probably a pretty good breeze blow through there in the front all the time. And they're just over there trying to work on their house, tighten it up a little bit. He was telling me how big his gas bills were and everything, so.
Finish wise on it, is it, I see two of them marked here, oak and mahogany, it looks like.
We went to the mahogany grain style look, that's all it is.
Your Honor, I see no problem with it, I would so move the pass.
Well, motion passed.
Was there other improvements gonna be? I see other, or is there any other, I should say, on the entryway, it's just the door itself and frame?
Yep, yeah. We're gonna close in all that existing old draft window they have, eliminate that, box it in, trim it in, make it look, acceptable.
Has a transom over top of it then?
Got a trans. What I recommended him to do was to take all the wood out because a lot of it's rotten. He's about, I think you're 3 brick thick if I'm remembering right.
Probably.
Maybe on that front is 3 brick,
3
yeah.
brick and plaster. And then he's gonna rewrap to give it the same look as the wood that comes all the way out, but then over the top, he'll do something to decorate up the transom.
So to keep at least that transom box out, you'll still see that reveal?
Yeah.
See a little bit of reveal in there and the look of it. You just won't have that.
Air hole?
paint
Right.
in the hole, yeah.
Go up the stairs, you got a draft, you can feel it during the winter.
Now, any work that you do, Billy, on the outside of the house, you'll come back on an individual basis on it.
Right, the front porch, the back into the house, decking or the back door,
Going
absolutely.
back through, I mean, we okayed like windows, he had a window scheme back a couple months ago, I think
Right.
it was, and
Right,
we had already approved that, correct? Yeah.
so I don't have to come back and ask questions on them windows when I'm ready, right?
I think you're good to go on the windows.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what I was point I was trying to make was
I think
that
the whole thing was you mentioned the door, but you didn't know what door you.
didn't have it picked out at the time.
Right, 'cause I was
That's why you're back
confused.
again.
I was trying to figure out the options because it's an odd size. And
Right.
the best way to do it is just tear it all out and reframe it
Frame it
and
in,
slip it
sure.
right in. And then do my trimming and whatever to make it look good on inside and out.
Just keep it up. You got a beautiful house down there.
I appreciate it.
love that building.
Again, I have no problem.
All right. Anybody in the audience have anything for us? Well, if Billy will sit down, I'm gonna have to.
Hey, it's all yours.
Stand right in front of the podium.
Thanks, Bill.
This is just more or less getting some information and seeing where you all are at this point in time. We need to do something to the back of our theater. That one section has some issues. And we're looking at several different options, but it could or could not include some demo work. But in the end, probably the material that would be used would be vertical siding, vertical metal siding. And I wanted to see if that's something that, that you all are okay with, or you would have any other suggestions for us in terms of materials.
And again, I know it's not an agenda item, I guess it's more of a
Information,
Q&A
yeah.
at this point.
mhm, Yes.
I mean, the structure had vertical siding on it before, correct? On the back
Again,
section?
it just
No.
had sheet.
Yeah.
Mario, if
It
you
had
look at
metal
that
siding,
close,
just,
It had some corrugated metal on it at one time.
it was just corrugated, it wasn't. I assume when you say vertical, you're talking like the 8 to 12 inch
Pole
stay
barn, pole
separated.
barn.
Right, right. That's what I would be talking about, yeah.
I would possibly, and this is only my opinion, I don't even get a vote, Pat,
Mhm.
on there, but possibly the commercial grade steel
Mhm.
sheeting, I think has a much more attractive look.
No, and I think that's what she's talking about, yeah. But I'm saying at one time it had a
It had metal.
vertical
just
metal on
Just
it.
galvanized, I believe.
If you look at some parts of it.
I don't think so.
Well, if you look at some parts of it, Mario, and it's far and few between, but there's some panels that are like 2 foot by 3 foot, and they were covered up. And I think those were the original siding. I'm not sure.
They were,
And they were, it looks like a puzzle probably. They were pieced kind of like an old
But it was-
ceiling or something.
But it was metal, it was tin or
It
some
was
type of
tin.
metal.
I think there were shingles, that, as my latest
That was
memory.
the original, those shingles were over top that metal.
Right.
Yeah.
But the original, the metal that's there is very interesting because we kind of tracked it down to a company that still makes it. It comes in sheets and it's pressed metal and it looks like bricks.
Right, it has a stamp design to it.
And
I guess
that's
the point
what
I'm
I've
making,
seen.
Yeah, that's what
Right.
you're seeing then. Mhm.
and that was the point I was trying to make, is that the building had metal on it at one time.
At some
in
point,
history.
right.
Yes.
Mhm. But I think they were panels, they were, yeah, just like rectangular panels. They weren't, like contiguous or anything, not vertical or anything, but it was metal.
But you did track that down?
Yes, we found a company there, I don't know, out in Missouri or Kansas or something, and they make it, they still make those sheets that you can buy, but, my concern is, is that those sheets are not going to that's not going to stand up. I mean, I think it's going to need some special coating or whatever if we were to even go back to that.
Keep in mind this though, Pat, you know, the original sheets were probably 100 years ago, and we've got a whole lot better technology
Right.
on metal and painting now, so they might offer something. If I was you, I'm all for the other siding, but it wouldn't be a bad idea to compare, just to see
The
how it
cost.
stacks up cost-wise. Because
We could do
either
that.
one of them, labor-wise, should be similar, should be easy to do. But it would be interesting to see how the cost would shake out on that.
I think, if I recall, and I'll have to go back and try to track that company down, but I think it's like not coated if you buy it from them. I think what that was there originally had a brick pattern on, and believe it or not, when I tracked it down online, there are companies like in Australia that make this stuff that looks like brick. But this company, I think they had the stamp designs, and it's like an old company, been there for 100 years or whatever. I don't know that it has any specific coating or any protective anything on it. That's what strikes me. I can go back and look though, but we did find the company, so. Or we think it's a company that made that and still makes it.
My feeling on it is, I wouldn't say no to the pole barn siding.
Well, I would still rather see, instead of just the standard 29 gauge painted metal siding, the actual, and I know there's a name for it, but it's the commercial grade, kind of like what we have on the roof down at the pool. Standing seam, yeah, instead of a pole barn siding. That at least gives it some architectural appeal.
Well, and the other thing, Mike and Pat never brought it up, but I've talked with her a little bit. We've got a 34-foot height there. So she's wanting to break it up. And what we thought is 11 feet, 11 feet, 11 feet, and then maybe a freeze board around the bottom up, and then to try to divide it up a little bit. Maybe with a different color thrown in on the bottom, I'm not sure. But she is worried and concerned about looks from that big height perspective on it. So, yeah, I mean, one way or the other, I can get you some samples to bring into a meeting,
Okay.
the different styles
Okay.
for her to bring in.
And I can look up that other, but I was just concerned about the long-term viability of that other material. You know, it's,
Yeah,
that was my concern about it, because I don't think it was inexpensive, if I recall, but I could go
I
back.
don't know what
and-
else she could put on it, guys. I mean, vinyl siding, in my opinion, would look terrible.
Yeah.
It's just too big of an area. Anything wood on it, I mean, any kind of clapboard, it's just a
Yeah,
big tall
if
area.
you tried it, it's too tall to even consider a hardy board or anything like
Yeah.
So, I think she's on the right path. Dick, you got any thoughts on it?
Well, anything's gonna look better than what it does, I'd say. We're just doing a barn with the that siding on it. Even that would look fine.
What kind of a recommendation can I get here?
that. You really can't, this is just open conversation.
Yeah, this is just,
It's not
yeah.
on the agenda. It wasn't
Yeah,
posted.
and I'm not expecting any decision, just some guidance or some thoughts that you all might have, that's all.
Yeah, I'd just suggest that we get a few samples together when you're ready, and then if you could come up for your own self on that other stuff. I agree with you, if it was, I mean, this other stuff's probably got what, Mario, a 30-year warranty on it?
Yeah,
Paint stuff, so it's pretty good too.
and it's almost a Galaloon,
Yeah.
product where it's, it almost takes acid to penetrate it, so,
Yeah,
especially with how caustic we are around here, it would hold up well.
right, and that's my concern about that other material, that it, wouldn't particularly hold up. And I don't know that it actually has the colored stamping on it. I know has brick stamping, but I don't know that it has any color or any kind of a coating on it, so that,
You have a color in mind now?
Probably something pretty neutral, like a kind of a, what do they call it, stone, or, kind of a grayish, beigeish, or, yeah, something not so light that it's gonna.
Like you said, you could always border it off or trim it out with
Right,
another
right,
two-tone match on it even.
right.
Yeah.
And any concern if we change that back box, what we're really talking about is that back box of the theater. Any concerns over that from a historical perspective, if we either remove it or diminish the size so it's not so tall?
And this is just my own opinion on it. I mean, I don't think that back box was part of the original structure.
I don't know.
Initially. I don't think it's contributing at all right now, of course. Functionality, I guess that would be up to you on that, but I'd have no problem seeing that back box.
I'm on your side there.
Okay.
I mean, that's just how I feel. And I think it's,
Okay. Yeah, because we don't want to go down that path if you all are kind of opposed to that,
I mean, Mike, do you have any recommendations on that?
No, and I know there's some structural issues,
Right,
and I know this board would definitely take into account those issues, and I know, and I don't know any of the details, but I know Carl Fryman, our building commissioner, has been contacted, and he's looking at it, and there's a lot of issues, so.
right. And we've been
I
in
think-
communication with him.
I think with, the proper supporting documentation, we would definitely consider that.
Okay. All right.
now, in clarifying that, I would like to say this from my perspective. I'm a big fan of that building 2/3 back. So I don't feel like that about the middle part of it. I really think that's a neat old building. But the back part, I just think it's seen its better days.
Okay.
So I would not.
And I think we're excited to see something, move forward with it back here.
Okay. Good. Well, we'll probably then approach you when we have something a little more detailed, and hopefully if you meet in a month or sooner, I don't know, if we have something, hopefully we'll be able to be back talking to you then. Thank you. Just wanted information tonight.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else in the audience have anything?
I'd so move.
Second.
Meeting adjourned.
Just stop, and then I'll start back up. You're ready to go. All right?